Hello, it's Erica Everarts, and we're here for Sunday demo. It's actually on a Sunday, not a Monday. And because the feels like temperature is 91 Fahrenheit right now, I also have some blotting to do. I was okay earlier. I was sitting in front of the fan doing stuff, but I had to go out to the van to bring Brigitte inside. I'd left her in the van last night because my hands were full. And I think it was warm enough in there. The sort of poly drive band got a little loose, and I had to reattach it. I also brought in my new warping board. I'll post a photo of that later. I was successful in winning it in the silent auction. I was the only one who bid on it. So I got it for $10. Yay! Okay, so today I'm going to do Purple Bat, and we're going to be dealing with a base. I got some of this purple from Stonehenge Fiber Mill. A little bit of this Rambouillet that I also got at Michigan. This is from Tallgrass Farms. Probably put in what's left of this merino, hand dyed by Udemy to You. Playing up that touch of green there. I've got bamboo, and then we'll put in some bio nylon. We'll decide later if I want to put any Firestar in. I'm not feeling it with the Firestar. I'm thinking I want something simple and plain. So let me get you tilted over here. I actually meant to take some Advil and I forgot, so we'll do that after this. Hydrate some more. Got my water bottle back here, so we're good. So you can see nice thin rubbing. I will just sort of fluff just a little. Also let me give it a chance to feel if there's any VM. I'm, of course, busy planning for North Country Fiber Fair. I leave on Friday morning for that. Still need to figure out how early. They sent us an email already letting us know when move-in was. I'm a little nervous about move-out. You only have 2 hours to move out, and then they start charging you. And, 2 hours is, just at my limit. Which I think is somewhat unfair because not everybody has a business partner, a spouse, family that can help them, right? So I'm doing it all by myself. And I try not to do it super fast so I don't hurt myself, because that would be really bad. So I may have to strategize. I've already decided the jewelry is just being dumped. I'm not, usually the jewelry I individually bag everything. I'm not doing that. It's just going to get dumped and I will untangle it when I get home. Just going to put a little more sort of across the middle here. But yeah, so that is all day Saturday, all day Sunday. I don't remember when on Sunday it ends. Probably earlier than it does on Saturday. Okay, I think for this, since I don't have I think I'm going to just do sort of splotches, right? I'm excited. Some of the vendors there are people who, I know on Facebook, but I haven't met in person yet. And there's a few who I've seen, but I haven't seen them in a while, so that'll be nice. I'm planning I ordered some more camping things, so I'll post photos of those. Supposed to arrive tomorrow. Because I needed, staying in the van is all well and good, but the campground is not at the venue. Actually, I have to decide which campground. There's 3 or 4 campgrounds. It's obviously a very outdoorsy area. Oh, I like this with this. This is a good choice. And so I'm going to have to take the van every day to drive back to the venue, which means I need something to leave at my campsite. Also to leave my my fridge plugged in, because I can't leave that in the van because it'll just run down my battery. So this is black bio nylon I'm adding. You know we like the black bio nylon. Gives it a nice sort of mysterious feel. Some of that. Okay. What do you think? We're gonna keep it nice and sort of mysterious like that. It's not really blingy, but not everybody likes bling, right? You know, and I'm going to South Dakota. I'm going to the Dakotas. They don't strike me as blingy people, right? So we'll keep it like this. Yeah. So I ordered an inexpensive tent off Amazon, but one I can stand up in. I mean, if there is supposed to be thunderstorms next weekend, so you know, if it's bad, I'll just get in the van. But this means that on Sunday after I pack up, in the 2 hours that I have, I can just go back to the campsite, and I don't have to. Because once the van is full of show stuff, I cannot sleep in it. Yeah, he's still noisy, by the way. I got a footprint, and I got, actually got a cot. One of these, not one of the, I remember the old cots, like the ones that sort of folded in thirds, and like had the bars and the places that like dug into you and everything. I hated those. I got one that is fairly low to the ground, because my great fear is the tent will leak and I will be sleeping in a puddle. But if I can be elevated, that'll make it that much better. Pull this is tiny bit cotted here. I think what I'll just do is fluff this like this. Yeah, so all that's arriving tomorrow. And then I have to find someone that will let me use their yard to set the tent up in so I can see that it actually works and is not missing a piece. If it's missing a piece, I'm not sure what I'm going to do because I'm leaving on Friday. Now, if you are watching, if you could leave a comment. I'm not seeing any comments, and so I don't know if it's me, if it's you. It's Facebook, which is almost always the answer to the issue. A little sticking up right there. Through. So yesterday I had my guild meeting. Got a new guild president. She was very good about keeping us on time, which was great. We got some chatty Cathy, so we always run over on stuff. So people made some really cool things over the summer. So we got to see those. Care of some business. Got agreement that I'll teach my karting class sometime this fall. We're just checking out dates. So if you are watching and you're local and you're interested, sometime in October or November, we'll do my full day karting class. It's the one that's focused on texture. And then we had the marbling workshop, where part of it, at the very beginning, we were playing with nail polish, where you can do a sort of a form of marbling, which we did, on these sort of pumpkin plastic, I don't know if they're styrofoam or poly something or other, but they would float. There you are. Thank you. Actually, it's pretty much purples, except for like this greenish bit right here. But we've got purple, and then this is sort of it's kind of a periwinkle, but it's got a lot of lavender in it, and there's some darker bits coming up in it. This is that sort of, it's the very end of that braid I had from Mary at Udemy to You. It's got purples and sort of this chili green type thing. And I have to step off camera again, because the humidity is not very high. One of the benefits of being September, but 88 degrees, but 91 with the humidity is definitely, I'm feeling it. Because like I said, I had to lug all that stuff in from the van, and that got me all warm. Oh, it's very cute though. The condo next to me also has cats. They have 3 of them, and one of them's little, and they often are downstairs, like by the front door, because that's where it faces south, and so that's where you get the sun. And so they're often down there sunbathing. And so I walked by, and the littlest one, whose name begins with a D, but I can't remember any more than that, is like right up against the door, sort of in this L shape. I'll look like navy blue. Yet it's this very deep, sort of imperial purple. And sort of like in this L shape, but just like totally, like I like looked, and usually if I make a move by the door, the cats wake up, but she was really out of it. There we go. Put some black on, bio on. Eloise has been down by the front door too. So usually what she does is she lays in the sun for a little bit, and then she overheats, and then she moves. A bit of a knot going on here, so I can undo this. There we go. And she would be all like, "Oh my God, you're going out the door! You're going out the door!" She doesn't usually try and make a break for it. She's just more like, "What you doing?" But I also like try and block the doorway as I'm coming in so that she won't make a break for it. Because I was really worried when I had the bat. It was only last week. Whenever I had the bat, like last week. And I managed to get the bat into the hallway. But then I picked up Heloise. I opened the front door. And then I picked up Heloise because, of course, my first thought was, Heloise is just going to make a beeline out that door. Because I had it, I didn't like open it a little bit. I opened it wide open. And then so the bat was sort of flying back and forth because it had been way up by the ceilings. Those ceilings at that point are like 17 feet. They're huge. And so each, like what happened is it would swoop down a little bit, and each time it would get a little bit lower as it sort of flew back and forth. And of course, I'm standing on the stairs with Heloise, who doesn't like to be picked up. And she's kind of like, sort of half protesting, but also half watching the bat go back and forth, and then eventually, and one time almost hit the window above my door because it was sort of getting lower, but the next pass it was low enough that it was able to go out the door. And then at that point, Heloise had like squirmed out, and I raced down and slammed the door shut. I get a bat in like once a decade, and that's enough for me. And I did sell a bat yesterday. If any guild members are watching, I bring like 2 to 4 or 5 bats with me for show and tell. Like, this is what I made in the last month and stuff like that. And they get passed around, and sometimes somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I want to buy this one." So, sold one of them yesterday. Have another one that actually, the one that sold. I had two of them. I only brought one, but I had two of them. Someone said after, "Oh, if you make another one that's kind of like it," I'm like, "I have another one just like it," but she hasn't gotten back to me. And then I sort of fell down on my social media duties. I'm in charge of the Facebook page, so one of my responsibilities is to take photos and post them on the guild page. I don't always remember to do that, or I'm not at meetings because I'm at the show. But I did manage to get a few this time. Usually we get photos of what people brought for show and tell, of the program. Though our program wasn't, we just did a how did you get involved in fiber arts, heritage craft type thing. So we just sort of went around in a circle and talked. But got a few pictures of the workshop. So we did a workshop on marbling. So we did the nail polish, which is super easy. Stinks like crazy, but super easy. And then we did more traditional marbling with the suspension, where you thicken the water, and we used acrylic paints that sat on the top of the water, and then we had watercolor paper pieces. None of the pieces were really big; they were also like sample size. And then when there was some old silk that was, it was brown. I mean, it was like beige. I think it was sort of stained. And actually, once I used it, I realized that parts of it there were like holes in it and like rips. Like it was not high quality stuff. But we got to try it on fabric, so that was nice. But we only had sort of primary paints. And I made a mess very early on and couldn't recover from it. And one of the times you have to dip the paper in the solution that has alum in it. And my paper got too wet and then it wouldn't take anything up. So it was kind of fun to play with, but it's not something like my heart is set on doing it. Okay, let's do maybe one more. Doesn't feel like there's a lot on it. Actually, 1 second. I'm going to have a drink of water. Eloise is standing in the living room meowing at me. Are you hungry, sweetie? I bet there's food in your bowl and you're just pretending there isn't. Yeah. She has the tiniest meow. But considering that she's coming from the kitchen area, she may have actually already eaten. She just wants attention. So I will be part of the waffle sale this weekend. No, not this. Yeah. At the weekend at the end of the month. I am on Sunday at, I believe it's 6 p.m. Eastern, so 5 Central. And it'll be bats. And in fact, if you remember that felted piece I made, I have already misplaced it. I have no idea where I've put it. I put it someplace safe. And I have no clue. I was looking for it to bring to the guild yesterday to show off what I'd made. And I couldn't find it. bit of this Rambouillet left. If you have any name suggestions for this, pop them in the comments. Yeah, I was so tired yesterday that after the workshop, I was just like, I don't have the energy to even stay and do a small load. I came home and promptly fell asleep on the sofa. So that means I'm going to go in tomorrow after I've mailed out the last set of commissions. Probably done a few other things I have to do. I'm going to go in and do a double load. And I think that's all I'm going to do. I don't think that's going to hit quite everything. I'll need to be strategic. Like, for example, I just looked up the weather, and it's going to be in the 70s and 80s when I'm there. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to dye up any Lucy tunics. Because they're long sleeve, and when it's like 80 degrees out, people don't want to try, even if you're indoors in air conditioning, they don't want to try heavy long sleeve things on. So I may not do the Lucy's. I have some boxy tops. I have 2 sets of boxy tops. By set, I mean like mostly a full run of a style, from the smallest size to the largest size. Got some boxy tops. I've got some Judy tunics. I've got Lucy tunics. I've got a couple of Erica dresses, which I will definitely do. And I've got jazzy jumpsuits. So I may, between the boxy tops, the jazzy jumpsuits, the Erica dresses, and the Judy's, that may be enough to do. I would like to do a couple more Rachel wraps. I think I only have two that are dyed up, and then I did. No, maybe I don't need any more. I had 2 that I had, went to Michigan with me, were left. One of them is, I'm not liking the color, but we'll see. I'm just going to put these 2 both together. I did 2 in what was supposed to be black and silver for a commission that did not work out well. The color broke in such an odd way. It was this sort of almost lavender purple. And I actually ended up doing an additional one in gunmetal gray that turned out much better. So I have these 2 other ones that I'm not sure if I need to over dye or not. It may not be a particularly big bag, but we'll see how it goes. And then I did 2 different purples. I think I've got a blue one already, and then I got this bronze one that's sort of a camel colored, which is not bronze at all. but that's the way it died up. I might do one or two more of those. Those tend to sell well. But if you do want a jazzy jumpsuit, let me know by like tomorrow morning. I have all sizes except small available. Let's get this off here. Let's pull this out first. Get the scale out. So I'm still taking name suggestions, yes, and Cheryl's got the idea of time to start guessing the weight as well. As I said, I think it's probably going to be on the lower side, though sometimes with merino it's hard for me to tell. Cheryl, I'll be seeing you tonight at the Zoom. Okay. Isn't that great? Okay. So I'm going to step off camera to fluff. I'll try and keep talking. Yeah, so if I do a double load on Monday, I can wash them on Tuesday. And then I can have Wednesday and Thursday to make more things for the bat bar, make more bats, finish the hand spun, go over the stitch markers. Oh yeah, this is pretty. I definitely love this color of bamboo with this purple. That's nice. Okay, let's get a weight. Make sure nothing's touching it. Get some paper. Okay. I think, Elizabeth, you're going to win. It is 2.06 ounces. So still on the small side. I'll go back through your suggestions for names. But yeah, I like that. Oh, great. Great. Okay, so I'll take some photos of this, post it later, because the sun's probably going to come back out from behind the clouds in a minute. I'm going to sit in front of the fan a little bit, cool down, and try and be productive between now and the Zoom I have to run tonight. So thank you all very much for tuning in. Reminder, there is no Sunday demo next week, because Sunday I will be at North Country Fiber Fair, and then Monday I'll be driving back. Sometimes I do the Sunday demo, but on Monday, I've decided I'm going to stay over Sunday night and then drive back on Monday. So, no demo, but I will be doing my WAFA demo both this week and next week, and so forth. So, that's it for now. I thank you very much for tuning in. I'll go back through the comments when I get a chance. Okay? See you around on Facebook.